That nigga said I was only 17, had the neighborhood hooked. Had them stealing
Hey,
out their crib because my crack tastes like
like
ribs.
ribs. Hey,
Hey man, he said this crack tastes like ribs, man. That's great. That's great marketing.
hey, perfect marketing. Huh?
The nigga was on the block, and my crack tastes like.
Hey, crack tastes like ribs, man.
Hey man, shout out to hip hop, man.
Hey,
Oh man, happy 50 years of hip hop, man. That shit's sick.
everybody wanted to try, huh?
Hey man, R.I.P. Mr. Big, man, the last Mr. Big. For those that know exactly what that quote and that lyric came from.
Man,
Shout out to hip hop once again, man. But what's going on, good people? Rich here.
school in the building. What's happening?
I'm back at it again with another episode of the Culture Garden Podcast.
Yes,
Shout out
sir.
to Ray P.
What's up, Ray?
Yeah, man. Ray P will not be with us today. As you can see, our apologies for getting this to you a day late. Scheduling has been crazy this week. It's just that type of year, or just that part of the year, should I say. March Madness, indeed. So things have been all over the place. So we weren't able to have everything aligned, have Ray P. And she was like, y'all got this one, which we'll get into a little bit later. But happy to be here. Before we start, shout out to you, school. You ain't been on Culture Garden in a minute.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know the romance month. That's y'all thing. Y'all got it.
Hey man, good to have you here, sitting here, chop it up with you today. Happy Women's History Month to all the ladies out there. Ladies, you look good. What movie is that from?
I don't know.
Booty Call.
Hey, you know what?
What's up?
It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I watched Booty Call. At least 2-3 years.
I randomly say that shit once a week. Ladies, you look good. Hey, obviously, Bun said that, but yeah, man.
My bad. I was gonna say, side note, bro. I am excited. I heard Jamie's dropping a comedy special.
Oh yeah, man. How you think it's gonna be?
I'm super excited. I'm just super excited, bro, because I'm very curious to hear what Jamie got to say. Because it's been what 20 plus years.
Jamie's talented, so I think whatever he does he's gonna do his thing in it. And since it's a comedy special and it's just a one-man show, I know he's going to deliver. Obviously, he has a lot of things to talk about. Like you said, 20 plus years. So I am interested to see what that's going to be like. Was there any kind of date when he said he was going to release it or anything like that?
No, he hasn't said the date. But I'm definitely excited. I don't want to say excited, but I'm very interested. And I think a lot of people are going to watch it simply because he said he's addressing his illness. So everybody want to know what happened with that shit.
Yeah, obviously the best time to have a special is right after a big topic of the news or a big event. So Chris Rock just went through that. We saw that after the slap. Everybody was trying to see him in concert to see what he had to say. So it makes sense. It makes sense, man. But obviously, I don't want to regulate Women's History Month to Booty Call. So in all seriousness, shout out to y'all, man. Women make the world go round. Yes. And I know that sounds super cliche, but honestly, I've said it before plenty of times. The best people that I know are Black women.
Yes.
And shout out to women in general. But I'm just saying my love goes out to all y'all. We appreciate y'all. Glad to have a month to celebrate you. And we'll continue to do so all month, even though today's episode isn't necessarily about that. Before we get into it, the Oscars were this past weekend.
Yes.
That ties in perfectly with School's Guilty Pleasures, man. You've been killing it over there.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Just had your second solo episode talking about 10 movies that you didn't know were nominated or either won an Oscar.
Yeah.
So that's always fascinating. That was a great list. There was one in particular. I'm not going to say it because I want people to go over there and check it out. It's on the feed, the Culture Garden feed. But there was one in particular where I was shocked. And the category, Best Adapted Screenplay. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
This?
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, great job with that. And also Save the Last Dance. I know you did that with Mia a couple weeks ago.
Shout out
which
to
came
Mia.
out. Yeah, man. So shout out to y'all, man. Everybody, please check out School's Guilty Pleasures. It is on the Culture Garden feed. Drops on Fridays. Not every Friday. Maybe he's leaning towards moving it every Friday, but as of right now, you should at least get 2 a month.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's
Yeah, man.
definitely based on who I can, my schedule, who I can get with, all that good stuff. But I'm definitely dropping a list every month, so always be ready for that.
No doubt,
Yes,
man.
sir.
And shout out to Davon Joy Randolph, my girl.
Yes, yes. She swept them
Swept,
dudes.
swept. Told you, as soon as I watched the holdovers, I knew it, bro. I was watching all that stuff. I said, she got it.
Yep.
And shout out to Danielle Brooks because she really, any other year, this reminds me of 2008 when I always say, man, if it wasn't for the Dark Knight, man, Iron Man would have been that comic book, the one they say changed everything. But
Yeah.
Dark Knight came out the same year. So if it wasn't for Davon Joy Randolph, then I think Danielle Brooks would have been in that same position. We're cleaning up a lot of those awards. But Corey Jefferson, Best Adapted Screenplay, second
Fucking
Black person to win that award.
man, and that speech he gave was fucking phenomenal, man.
Yeah, man. American Fiction. Shout out to We Got Y'all as well. Shout out to Ray P.
Yes.
We're going to get something on the feed real soon for y'all. Rachel and myself. I was on the phone with Rachel for like 2 hours the other day, just chopping it up. And she's got me watching this reality show and I'm hooked. Like to the point where I started going back and watching older episodes. So you might have reality TV rich. It makes me want to go back and watch Making the Band.
Hey, you had me watching that shit on YouTube, man.
That shit ignorant, like quality, elite television.
Yeah, it's to the point where it definitely that shit that you be hearing about Diddy, you'd be like, man, I don't know.
That's where we get off the exit. So before we get started, please remember to like, subscribe, share. Yeah, we ain't talking about that, man. Like, subscribe, share. We have our link tree with all our information in there. You can check out our YouTube. There will be spoilers with today's episode and explicit content. And today's film, A Low Down Dirty Shame.
Yeah.
Classic movie poster, maybe two classic movie posters.
Yeah.
With this film. I think that you could say it with that. The synopsis: an ex-cop, now a private detective, takes on the search for the millions stolen by a drug lord. As far as the stats go, this film was released November 23rd, 1994. It will be 30 years this November. That's insane.
That's crazy.
What do you think about the Thanksgiving release? I was kind of surprised when I saw that.
Yeah, very surprising. This feels like a summer movie.
Definitely feels like a summer movie. So when I saw the Thanksgiving release, I don't know if it because of LA, obviously just because it's releasing Thanksgiving doesn't have to be holiday themed, but just felt like a July movie to me.
Yep. Yeah.
Directed by Keenan Ivory Wayans. Directed, wrote, starred in the film. I think because he directed How I'm Gonna Get You Sucker too, right?
Yes.
Or How I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. My apologies. I'm Gonna Get You Sucker.
Yeah.
Had a budget of an estimated $10 million, made $29.3 million at the box office, $7.9 million opening weekend. It opened up at number 5 behind The Santa Claus, which I can't believe that came out in 94.
Yeah.
That just feels like one of those 97, 98 movies.
Yep.
But the Santa Claus was number 1, Star Trek Generations, Interview with the Vampire, and Junior. You seen Junior, man?
Yeah, I seen that shit. That ain't even making SGP.
Shout out to all y'all out there who've seen Junior with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. Awards: 0 wins but 1 nomination. Chicago Films Critics Association Awards. Most Promising Actress for Jada Pinkett Smith, going by Jada Pinkett at that time.
She had a hell of a year.
She did have a hell of a year. And remember, she was in Menace the year before.
And she was in Jason's Lyrics.
Yeah, Jada's like when she came on the scene, she was on the scene. Like she was immediately being.
And I think she definitely showed her versatility as well. Because all 3 of those characters are all different.
Yeah, for sure. And I know a lot of people. Let me back up. Not people. People who probably aren't of the culture, film critics, who this isn't their normal, genre of film.
Yeah.
They said she was the bright spot in the film for them. Obviously it wasn't highly rated as far as the critics go. We'll talk about that in a minute, but they said she was a bright spot. She really did do her thing, but we know her obviously as Peaches. Got to give her credit. All right. As far as the cast goes, we have Keenan Ivory Wayans as Andre Shame. Did you know his first name was Andre?
Yes, sir. That good old check.
Yeah, the check at the beginning of the movie, man. Jada Pinkett Smith, like I said, going by Jada Pinkett at the time as Peaches. Sally Richardson Whitfield as Angela. Said it before. Two of the most beautiful, gorgeous women sharing the screen together at the same time. When you talk about Jada Pinkett Smith and Sally Richardson Whitfield, that the other comparison I've always made was Boomerang.
Yes.
But just right up there. If they're not number one, they number two. They right there, man. Just beautiful women on screen. We have Charles S. Dutton, your guy, your man.
Hey.
Yeah, man. It's Sonny Rothmiller.
Sonny Rothmiller.
And Andrew Devoff is Mendoza. Corwin Hawkins is Wayman, man. R.I.P. to Corey Hawkins. He passed away the same year as his film release. He wasn't alive for the premiere, so it's unfortunate that he didn't get to see the impact that his character made, because Wayman is a classic character.
Yep.
When you talk about scene stealers, that's the type of performance that we're talking about. That's Hall of Fame scene stealer. So R.I.P. to Corey Hawkins. Kim Wayans as Diane and Chris Spencer as Benny with the small appearance. School.
Yes, sir.
It's been a minute, man. You mentioned it. We did Romance Month. You were doing SGP. Back on Culture Garden. Your turn to pick. What made you go with this film?
Man, I wanted to definitely get into something a little light, some funny shit. But this is one of my favorite movies ever. Like, we talk about, if you was to give me my top 10 movies of all time, this is in there. It's one of the movies motherfuckers would be like, what? For real? Yes. We always talk about, 85. This is one of those. My grandparents, we always talk about how them having cable and all the movie channels. They didn't own a lot of movies, but this is one that they owned, and they owned The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Those are the two movies that my grandparents owned.
Straight up. That's real.
Yeah.
That's real, man. It's funny because a lot of people, when you bring up a low down dirty shame in the culture, it's never just, oh, it's cool. Like, people have that same reaction. For some reason, this film resonates with people, at least from our era, where it's like, no, that's my shit. That's one of my favorite movies ever. I was talking to Mo, man. Shout out to Mo. Mo said the same thing. Oh, it's one of my favorite movies. Like, movies. He even hit me. He was like, hey, can you make sure that you got this episode uploaded like super early so I can make sure I get it in? Like, you know what I mean? Start downloading it before I go to work and all that. He hit me with that because he loves that film.
Yes.
We're right before we recorded Good Earners. Spike was on there. I was telling him we about to do that. He was like, oh, snap. I got to tune in. That's my people have that reaction where they get excited about a low down dirty shame.
Yep.
Let me ask you this. Should the low down dirty shame be an SGP? Like, is this a good movie?
Yes, this is a good movie.
Okay.
This is a good movie. And
is it good or is it entertaining? Or is there a difference? Are they the same to you?
Yes, it's the same. Yeah, it's a good movie. It has its holes, but so does every other movie. Shit.
So I was gonna say, so I'll be real. This is one of those, and I don't know how we have this conversation or when it needs to take place. But there's a certain thing, and I don't know if it's because we do the podcast or if it's because I'm getting older and I just see things differently. My experiences has taught me things about life.
Yeah.
There's a switch now that goes on in my head where I got to turn it on and off in certain situations.
Yeah.
It's hard. Like, when I sat down and watched this, and not like, let's rewind a little bit. We did our Wayans episode, school, like back in 2022.
Yes.
We had a conversation about the Wayans family. Please check that out if you haven't. That was a very entertaining episode. We also ranked our favorite Wayans films, like with some caveats. Yeah. But our favorite Wayans films. And the Low Down Dirty Shame was number 2 for me.
Yeah.
Don't worry, y'all. I have nothing bad to say about a Low Down Dirty Shame. But what I will say is, if you don't have your mind conditioned for the film that you're watching, you can really not enjoy yourself or stop yourself from enjoying yourself by picking out and pointing out little stupid stuff that has nothing to do with nothing. It's almost like one of those, bro, you just complaining just to complain.
Yeah.
Like, it's the 90s. And school, you'll probably understand what I'm saying when I say this. We talked about how this film was about to be 30 years old, which is crazy. So think about in 1994 for us. A movie 30 years old would have been 1964.
Yeah.
Which sounds insane, right? As kids, it sounds crazy to think that we're going to watch something that old.
Yes.
The difference is, I think for us, we were there to experience it. The same way our peoples was around to experience what happened in 1964, we was around to experience what happened in 1994. So it's easier for us to go back and remember. It's not an old movie to us. That's a low down dirty shame. We never look at it and say, oh, that movie 30 years old and look old. Like, nah, I remember that setting. I remember all of the stuff that's going on in this film. I remember having to use landlines. Everything seems normal, even though we don't do it now.
Yep.
So I think it's funny how our generation, or whatever generation you are, if you're in that weird transition where you're going to that next level as far as age, and you can look at things and say, I remember this is 30 years old and I remember when it came out. Now, that's a wild time to be, but good movies, good art in general, just age well.
Yes, they do.
Even though they have some 90s shit about them.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I had to tell myself. Like, bro, like this is still your shit. Like, don't look at it from the. Of course, there's some silly shit going on, but that's what every movie did in the 90s.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because not to jump into scenes, but I know exactly a scene that I had to sit back and go, "This your shit, bro. Chill." When he hit old boy with the chair, have a seat, and threw the chair at him, I was like, "Oh man, this."
There's a lot of those moments, but like I said earlier, it's. Let's take it back to that 1964 comparison.
Yeah.
Even if it's late 90s for us, we 12, 13, whatever it is, it's going to be hard for us to sit down and watch certain things and appreciate them the same way since we weren't there. Right. Compared to now, we can give ourselves that pass. Like, bro, nah, this is my shit. Like, this is just the time. We were around to know that this was the time. This is how movies were made. This is Steven Seagal, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone. When they had these action movies, they was on this type shit.
Yep.
And you even mentioned it on the Wayans episode, School. You were like, bruh, Keenan had to be sitting at home one day, seeing the Steven Seagal movie, seeing how much it made, and say, hell nah. Like, I'm about to get into this. Because Steven Seagal is a terrible actor. He's a terrible actor.
Terrible.
So if he's out here making movies and making money, I got to be able to write something.
Yep.
And
shout out to him. Like, when you see how hard it is to write a movie and direct it and get a studio to say, all right, we like that. Let's get it. We got 10 million for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you watch good movies, quote unquote, because there are some holes, and it's not just storyline holes. There's some, continuity, all types of stuff. But it's not going to deter you from the film. I don't know if you can show it to someone in their first time seeing it is in 2024, and they would like it as much. But I guess that goes to say that's how art is. It's hard to make films that last the test of time.
Yes.
It's hard. When you think about it, like when you think about The Godfather 2 turning 50 this year,
man,
like that's on a very short list of no matter what generation.
Yep.
It's going to resonate. It's almost like when we had the conversation about Home Alone. Like, it doesn't matter how old you are, like when you were born, you watching Home Alone. It's like a rites of passage. So
yeah, some of those movies are like that. Jurassic Park, that's another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just these are classics. Like, ain't nothing you can do about this shit. I'm watching Lion King, yes. Toy Story,
all that. Yeah, absolutely. So I was excited when you picked this movie. I say all that to say I was excited. So shout out to you for picking it. School. I think our conversation might have answered this question, but classic or not?
Fuck yeah. In the SGP style.
Yeah.
It's my shit.
It's a classic. Nobody can take that away. It's a classic. It's cultural classic. I wish I should have reached out to Big Sis and asked her what it was like. She's a little bit older, and just asked her. She was outside when this film came out.
Yeah.
And what the buzz was, because we got to think Keenan was coming fresh off In Living Color.
Yeah,
hot as fish grease. You know what I mean? And Damon had started making his mark. The Wayans family started becoming a thing. This is right before, a couple years before the Wayans brothers. So we wanted to see what Keenan had. Once again, I was talking to Mo, and he was talking about this film from the sense of, of course we know him from In Living Color and his comedic chops, but This was an action movie. Then it was a romance. Then it was a comedy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he really got into a whole nother bag, which was different. And we've seen people or comedians try to get away from that comedian, bubble that they put him in and say, let me do a little action or dramatic acting.
Yeah, and I don't and also, Damon was the one. Like Keenan was the behind the scenes, getting shit done. But Damon is the one that, the critics that they loved, so it's definitely important to note that shit. don't do it. I know what you're about to say.
Shout out. Yeah, you know what I'm about to say, man. Hey, y'all, one of the first times in my life that School played me. He played me, bro. We was at 85, and I was watching this Damon Wayans stand up, and I'm getting weak.
He saw this shit.
Weak, and he in a whole nother room, but he ain't even there at the time. I don't know. But I'm telling y'all, I'm trying to get him to watch this. I'm like, School, watch this. And like I said, we young. Like you might have been 11.
One of my 12. First asshole moments.
Yeah, one of the first. I had never experienced that with him, and he was like, bro, I sat down with him to watch it. He sat there with the straight face on purpose, just sat there with a straight face. Then laugh at one thing. So I got upset and I was like, you know what? Forget it, man. Turn this off. He's like, yeah, man, that shit trash. Yeah, that shit trash. Don't ask me to watch that shit over. So shout out to School, man. Don't think I'm just out here big bro on him, man. School be getting me too.
Hey man, shit's comedy, man. We talk about that shit once a year, man.
Nah, because that shit was silly, bro.
Because you was so hyped, bro. You
wasn't going.
You was like, yo,
you wasn't going.
Yeah, I wasn't going, bro. This shit ain't
funny. There was nothing bro. I could do. That could have been the funniest stand up ever, and for some reason you was just nope. I'm not. If you hyping it too much, bro, calm down. That's what you was on. As far as the origin goes, did you find anything about the origin of this film?
No, I tried. I didn't really see much. I even tried to find maybe an Arsenio Hall episode or something, and I didn't get nothing. So
I didn't get anything. I got one small clip of on the set conversations, but that's about it. Yeah. So I don't know what inspired him. I think what we just said, he probably was sitting at home watching one of those movies and was like, I'm about to make one too. First experience.
It's to be noted that Under Siege by Steven Seagal made a lot of fucking money.
Yeah,
enough
for us. Yeah, enough for us to go out. We could write one.
Yeah, straight up. Straight up.
First experience though, School. You remember the first time watching this?
Man, this is one of those ones that I've seen so much that I can't remember the very first time I watched it, but I can guarantee it was on 85. Just because, like I said, our grandparents didn't own a lot of movies, so for them to own this, it was one of them like, yo, what is this? Let me put this in. Let me see what this is about.
I don't know if we said it was a VHS.
VHS, yes sir.
It wasn't even a DVD. It was a VHS, straight up.
Classic.
Mine had to be 85 as well.
Mm-hmm.
It had to be. I can't remember. It's like you said. It's one of those films that just you've seen it so many times you can't trace it back.
Nope.
We've had a few conversations like that, but that falls in that category for me. Definitely remember, like I said, the movie poster, both of them, because the cover of the VHS, and then he's got the movie poster where he's got the guns crossed.
Yeah,
with Sally Richardson Whitfield and Peaches or Jada on the other side of them. So both of those posters, I think, are. Let's put it like this. You know how some people have the movie rooms in their crib.
Yeah,
they got the film posters. I would put one of those up there. That's how dope I think that poster is.
Oh yeah, and it's I love the fact that it's two different shames.
Yeah, there are. That's a good point. That's a great call. Great call, man. I love a low down dirty shame. It brings back the nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
Like you say all the time, nostalgia can be dangerous, but it brings it back in a good way.
Yeah,
this film was very enjoyable, especially once I turned my brain off. Like I said, it was just like, yo. I was about to quote the Lion King, like, remember who you are. Nah, who was that? Is that Black Panther? That's Black Panther. My bad.
No, that's motherfucking Lion King. Hey, man, you stupid.
Shout out to Africa, man.
Hey, shout out to Mufasa, nigga. He had to tell Simba, nigga.
Yeah, man.
You are. Straight up.
Yeah. You stupid for that. But now we're gonna get into the best scenes. School, this is your movie. I'm gonna let you kick it off.
Sir.
What you got?
Of course, the opening scene, man. You know, this is one of my favorite things about movies, especially action movies, man. They jump right into the action, and they let you know what type of character Andre Shame is, man. He's a private investigator who's at his wits' end. All he's trying to do is make this bread, and risking his life to do it.
All right. So let me ask you this real quick.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. And I'm gonna take a moment to just every now and then I'm just gonna point some things out.
Yeah.
I'm just curious about it. Did they not know what room they were looking for? Because why is Peaches opening up all these doors?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
I told y'all this is stupid. It has nothing to do with the enjoyability of the film.
You're right.
It's just one of those things where I noticed on that first watch, like, why is she? When did you think that they would? Yeah. And how many films have had this scene in the movie? The gangsters in the hotel exchanging the product. Yeah. Somebody comes in, bust in with the guns. Yeah. Like it's. Here's the thing that if you wanted to, and I think a lot of the critics would, this is what they were getting to. It almost felt like Keenan bought a How to Make an Action Movie book and just followed the directions. He put a spin on it and made it great, don't get me wrong, but it does feel like that in some areas because I'm like, bro, we've seen this a million times.
Yeah.
Even though it's enjoyable and it's extra in its own way, like I said, that was the 90s, the 80s and the 90s. But I always laugh when I think of Peaches going room to room. The same way with the very opening when he's looking through, like, why today are you looking through these photos and these newspaper clippings and decide to burn them? I guess it's backstory. And once again, I was talking to Mo on the phones, which is why I'm referencing him. But he mentioned that's kind of your backstory for Shane. So you can get an idea who these people are and all that kind of good stuff.
Absolutely.
It's just very funny that when you think about it logically, wow, this nigga just woke up. Let me pull this shit out, man. Let me just look at these old pictures and these old clippings, man. All right, cool. He probably ain't looked at them in 15 years. However long it was. And
it's funny to think in 94, the internet wasn't around like that. So the attention span, he could have really gave us 20 more minutes and we'd have been all right. You know what I mean?
I think the length was perfect. Pause.
No, it is. But for just continuity purposes, he could have gave us, 10 more minutes of this and 5 more minutes of that and 15. Like it's some shit he could have did a little bit better. For sure. Even if it was just a 5-minute quick his normal former CI. I don't know which room, bro, but I know it's on the 3rd floor. That's all I can tell you. You know what I mean? Like, give us something like that.
I feel you on that. I feel you. But like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and try to nitpick it. Just little small things that I picked up on, like, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. But the first scene, I gotta go with you on that as well. It does show him in that new light of action, and he did a good job. I don't know if we properly give him his credit for how well he did as far as being an action hero and us believing that he was an action hero. I believe that he was an ex-cop. I believe that he knew how to handle himself as far as like gangsters in the room and all of that, how to carry himself, how to get out of situations. I don't know if Keenan's discussed as much when you talk about like 90s cool. Yeah, you bring up Michael Jordan and stuff. I don't know how much Keenan is discussed, but he might be in that conversation.
He's definitely in the convo. And he does a very good job of that desperation. Like from the jump of this movie, you can feel the desperation. Like, this dude's going through something. Something's up with this nigga. Like to even do all this shit.
Yeah, that's real, man. Get your karate kicking gun range ass in the car now. You always got that little sidekick that's trying to do too much. And Peaches was the perfect one for this film. You got your humorous racism, which we talk about all the time. I don't know what that makes us. It might make us messed up, but funny racism. He said, I'm Chun Young Fat. He said, you know what that means? Yeah, you come with egg roll and miso soup. Like, come on, bro. Soup. You out here fooling, man. Some of the cinematography, I really did enjoy some of the shots as well. Like when you look at that shot in the hotel, when he jumps over the bar, with the guns. I thought that was a great shot. Obviously, it was super extra, but when he's leaving the restaurant, leaving the hotel, and jumps through the window, that's a good shot going through the limo. Like, you could tell I'm going to go big with this. And I prefer that versus half-assing.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
As far as next scenes for me, I got Peaches at the office watching her stories. She's watching the soap opera, and she's on the phone. And once again, said it earlier, you know what this was like if you was around in 94. You know what it was like to be on a landline talking to somebody, tying up the line.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's a business. And when he mentions about running up the phone bill.
Yep. Another thing.
Everybody knows what their bill is. It's all, unlimited minutes. But that wasn't a thing. If you on the phone, you were getting charged for your calls, your collect calls, all of that. The way and that's how it used to be, even at work. Like, it'd be nothing for somebody to be on the phone. I'd call somebody at work when I was 16, be on the phone for an hour, tying up Foot Locker's line and all that. It just was what it was.
And then Iron called, huh?
But she's telling that story like, bam, she got hit by a big ass truck. She was in a coma for a week. You're not gonna believe it. She's like, girl, come on with it. However, that's Kim Wayans, obviously, on the other end, doing the voice. Yeah. But yeah, come on with it. She died. She brother, that scream she gave out.
Hey, don't leave me, Miss Peaches.
Every single time.
Don't say something, Miss Peaches.
Yeah, man, put that phone down. The way Peaches gets emotional, like really gets emotional, like she knows these characters.
Yeah,
the whole night. Everything about that scene was hilarious.
Like
I said, being on the phone, bullshit, and that's got to be in my top scenes.
And it resonates with all black people, specifically because our grandparents love stories. My grandmother, bro, you know how it was. We come home, grandma watching, super invested in the stories. Hey, y'all keep that noise down. Hey, grandma was never the type to be like, shut up. But when it came to the stories, y'all got to hush.
Straight up.
So I definitely
stay catching her in the kitchen, on the kitchen TV or up in the room. Always, man. Shout out to Flossie May.
Yes.
What's your next scene, my brother?
Yeah, so when Sonny Ruffmiller come through, man, it was amazing, bro. Just the fact that he tried to come in pretty much front on Shame, like, yo, you remember this? You remember this chick? Like, what? The way Shame is like, is this some type of fucking joke? Of course I remember her.
Man.
Shit,
you don't forget her.
Hell nah, you don't forget her. And then one of my favorite parts also is when he tells him, I'm your friend. Like, yo. And of course, we find out later what type of trash this nigga's on.
Selling it too hard. But you know what? Charles S. Dutton was the perfect character for that, because you know him as Rock.
Yep.
He seemed like somebody you want to team up. You want him to team up with Shane. Like, yeah, man, help him out.
Oh, yeah. What the DEA need with me? Not the DEA, me. Like, this is just me and you, brother. Like some old sucker shit. Like, yeah. And when he hit Peaches with the get the man soda. A soda. Why you front? You know you ain't got no soda. You got soda in your desk, don't you? Yeah, I got soda. We'll get the man a soda. Shit. That's how I be.
Oh, yeah, that was a good scene. I didn't have it in my top scenes, but obviously anytime Sonny comes on the screen, I enjoyed it. Do you have anything? Do you have any scenes before we get to Wayman? Because I got Wayman as my next scene. Yep. All right, man. So listen. Yep. By far, the funniest scene in the movie, 30 years later, still hilarious.
Yes.
Peaches foul for one.
Super foul.
That's fucked up.
But you know that's in one of the things that bother me. But yeah,
for both parties. Like, you shouldn't do that to Wayman, and you shouldn't do that to Shane, man. Come on, like, that's not cool. Like, because you know how Shane gonna react.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so Peaches, she out of pocket for that. But Shane's reaction when he found out he was in the bed with Wayman, like the way he bobbled, you know what I mean, the juggled the wig.
Yo,
his scream, and he pulled out instantly, bro. Like, how extra you got to be? This nigga pulled out both straps,
both
of them, and you know he was mad.
Die.
This is something. This is the genius of this scene, right? This is something that's genius about this scene that I never really picked up until later on. when you mad, you mad. You don't pick and choose who you mad at. You just mad, right?
Yep.
So when Peaches come in the room, he's still pointing the gun at her. That's a small, subtle, genius, funny part about this movie. This nigga he ain't trying to hear nothing from nobody. Like
nobody.
I know who you are, and I rock with you. But I still got the gun pointed at you because everybody got me fucked up right now.
I kill everybody in this
bitch. And normally, I was, we talked about the 80s and 90s, even 2000s, and some of the jokes of the people who were the butt of the jokes, or the groups who were at the butt of the jokes. I think Low Down Dirty Shame is different because you have Wayman, and all of his responses were so spot on, and they were so funny. We're gonna talk about it when he go downstairs, but we get downstairs. What do you say in the room? Miss Peaches, come in here and get this rock wallet. Like the way he said that shit. Yeah, man, because this nigga, I woke up, this nigga bugging. Like we was just booed up. We was just hugged up. That's what Wayman's thinking. Like, damn, shit was cool.
Bruh, listen. This man was running his hands through the wig and said, hey.
I'm glad you cool with me sleeping in your bed. Like, so
girl. Said, I hope you don't mind. Peaches said it'd be cool if I laid up in your bed. Oh no, honey. Hey, man, straight up.
Hey, I heard fully, man.
That's the reaction, man. Show me some tits or die. Straight up.
Then they go downstairs, obviously over it. Good morning, Shane. Like the whole just fucking with Shane. That and the way Peaches is behind that newspaper guild. I know newspapers ain't a thing no more, but that's when you wanted to hide your face. You put that shit over your whole face, and you get weak behind it. And she reading some nonsense. They go through that story, but what's cooking? Smell good in here. Sausages? You want some? That whole thing. Nigga said, nah. That big ass pan and put it in his face. They was really hitting that shit over the park when it comes to the joke, man. So
yes.
Then she started singing, or excuse me. Then he started singing the song like, I like cooking when I'm dealing with meat. Like, come on, bro. Who the fuck? Is this ad-libbed or not?
Hey, nigga was fooling, bro. I think
go ahead.
I was gonna say it was very interesting too. The National Enquirer that Peaches was reading that because Grams used to read that a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
The National Enquirer be having some wild shit in it. I don't know if that shit even still exists. I'm sure it does, but I guess the internet kind of took over that type of shit.
Yeah.
But it used to have some wild shit in that fucking newspaper, man.
Yeah, man. There's I told y'all, man, there's a point in your life where you start reaching a point where shit ain't as crazy as you might have thought it was 20 years ago. Like that shit might be true. And the older I get, the more I look at stories like, hey man, might be real. But the funniest part of this whole scene is when Shane made a comment about his hair, about Wayman's hair. He said, you didn't seem to have a problem with it last night when you were running your fingers through it, sharpshooter.
Hey,
called him a sharpshooter.
He said, I didn't touch you.
Oh, now don't get your boxes in a bunch just because you was cruising in your sleep last night and started speeding. Hey, if you watch the scene, man, the way that nigga would grab the wall.
Listen to me.
Hey, what's up?
If that part would have happened in the bedroom, that would have been the end of the movie, bro. He would have had to clap that nigga. He would have had to clap.
Oh, nah, that shit was hilarious, bro. That's why I said Wayman as a character because he had to clap back. Oh, you trying to be funny? Oh, now you got something to say because I could have sworn you was just cuddled up with me. Yeah. Hey,
and that's those type of characters, like you said, the scene stealers. Those are the type of characters. If you were Damon Wayne, or excuse me, if you were Keenan Ivory Wayans, that you love because he might not have written that many scenes or parts for this guy, but when you start seeing him killing shit, kind of like as we talked about in Friday After Next, like it wasn't a lot Mike to do in that movie. But once he started killing it, they was like, yo, we need more of him. So I kind of get that feel from Wayman. He might not have had a lot of parts, but man, he killed it.
Yeah, man. And Corwin Hawkins, I know that he has I didn't watch it, but I do know he was on Def Comedy Jam. So I meant to go back and check it out so I can see what it's about.
Yeah.
But it definitely comes up on your YouTube and things like that. So
very talented, very talented.
Killed this movie. What's your next scene?
Well, my next scene is when he runs into Louise, man. When he basically knows, he lets Louise know, I know Mendoza's around, man. And I know you his right-hand man. So let him know that and that's one of those scenes where I'll be wrecking shit like a 4.0 and all that bullshit. That corny
Is that the scene? Is that the scene where you said respect my shit and y'all respect my shit? Yes, I respect yours.
Yes.
Okay.
That's it. Yes. So
I got you.
Yeah, that's definitely a great scene because I like when he tells the crew like, yo, ain't this crazy? Louise, I knew Louise when he was peddling the PCP, the school kids. Now you on top and I'm not. Damn. That's how I be though.
That shit always remind me of Training Day. Roger so dope to kids. The world's a better place without him. Shit.
When I tell you that when Shane was playing that desperation, man, he did it, man. He killed it.
Yeah. And he was confident with it too. To be that desperate because I need to find her in 3 days. I'll find her in 2. Like, you could tell he was good at what he did. He was good at this job.
Yeah, for sure.
My next scene, Diane Kendricks, played by Kim Wayans.
Yes.
This is school scene, just for the ad lib. And once again, take yourself back to this time, prank calling, or you can actually get this off back in '94. You can pull this whole stunt off, and it's 100% believable. Calling with the radio station giveaway. Kim getting excited. So the customer, what about my scar? Wear it, bitch. We gotta go.
Gotta go. And I think it's. Sorry, I think it's even. It even shows how brilliant he is for the scene a little bit prior to that, walking in the store to get her name. I'm looking for something for my lady. What do you call her? Dion or something? Diane.
Denise.
Denise. No, Diane. Okay, cool. Got your name. I hear you listen to the radio, trying to win that 10,000.
Yeah, very attentive. I'm always drawn to characters who are attentive.
Yes.
I mentioned Good Earners. Check us out, Good Earners Sopranos. It's a podcast I'm a part of, but that's one of my favorite things about Tony Soprano. Like he notices everything in the room, no matter what, no matter how small. And I'm one of those people as well, so that always stands out to me. All right, what's your next scene?
My next scene is him going off on I guess it would be him catching up with Angela.
Who, Shane?
Yes, Shane finally catching up with Angela, man. Just another attentive scene. Him sending her flowers, not leaving a name. Eventually knowing she's going to know who sent them because no one is supposed to know she's even in California. So she opens that door. That nigga open. What did that nigga have on, bro?
Shane was on some bullshit.
Nigga said it was laundry day. God damn it. And then of course he finds out that it was all a setup, man. Sonny's a dirty son bitch.
And put it together real quick. And that's what obviously I think that's right in the middle of the movie. So we all get the reveal right then and there. And every action movie has to have that moment. Like somebody's not who I thought they were. Usually it's a likable character like Sonny. So it fit perfectly. Like I said, if you follow the 90s blueprint, the 80s blueprint, it fit perfectly. I enjoyed that scene as well. I got one more scene. So I don't know if you have any before this, you can go. But I have one more scene on my list, and that's going to be the Sonny pulling up on Mendoza scene.
Okay, so before that, and I don't know how I missed this one, it was obviously Shane running into the women's gym and running into Wayman again. And of course, Bernard, smacking the shit out of Bernard, which was obviously Shane bullshitting around, but he did not lie. They were in bed together.
Shit, silly, man.
Nigga told him coffee is better. What he say? Coffee is better with cream, but better when it's black. Hey, Bernard told him, and you, Mr. Espresso, if you want some steamed milk with your coffee, I'm your man. Like, yo, that's just shit stupid, bro.
Hey man, but it's in your best scene. So yeah, what's next, man?
But that's it.
This is my second favorite. It might be my favorite. I don't know. Nah, that's my second because that Wayman scene, that's my top. That's the funniest scene in the film. But unintentionally funny, hands down, Sonny pulling up on Mendoza, man. Mendoza and that man. Hey, Sonny was talking cash.
Sonny was talking like
he was talking like he couldn't be touched, man. He told as soon as dude opened the door, get out of the way, before I make you. Hold on, man. Get out the way before you make me slap your fat ass, bruh. Talking greasy.
Hey, told him if I pull up an immigration truck.
Now hold on, man. We getting to it. Hold on. You gonna frisk me? You gonna fucking frisk me? If I told you, hey, this the bar though. This the bar school. When he told Mendoza he needed to talk to him. Mendoza, bullshit, and they tell this man to leave. He said, if he told you to please leave, I'm telling you to get the fuck out.
Straight up.
Hey, come on, bro. You out here wilding. It's one thing to be mad, but it's another thing to be over the top mad.
Sonny Rothmiller, goddammit.
Telling everybody, man. If he's telling you to please leave, then I'm telling you to get the fuck out.
Hey, if he hey, that's a bar for real though.
That's a bar, bro. That's some shit Victor Sweet would have said.
Hey, straight up.
Some shit Victor Sweet would have said, man. And then the line you was gonna say the fucked up, like I said, fucked up racism.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking immigration is gonna they're gonna give me a fucking medal if I pack a truck up in here and put your fucking ass in it. Hey, come on, man. He was out here fooling. He said they're gonna give me a medal. I'll bring immigration back all y'all up in this shit, bruh. Y'all wild.
And once your boy Mendoza pulled out that knife, nigga got real humble, didn't he?
Got the humble voice on.
I was simply saying,
and the mic notes.
Now let me ask you this question. 2024, they tell you they got a Mendoza's backstory movie coming out.
Stop it. No, I don't want to. Nope, I don't care nothing about it. Stop it, man. Cut it out. Knock it off, man.
Shit.
Chill. But I do love the overacting in that scene also by Charles S. Dutton. Because when he said, "You're right, my man did fuck up," and he slashed him, he put the
yeah.
Nigga, you a cop. You killed niggas.
Yeah, stop.
Like, that shit scare you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. But that's it for scenes for me, man. I don't know what else you got. Because the rest of the movie is typical action movie shit. It was very predictable. You know what was going to happen. Entertaining, don't get me wrong. But nothing that I'm going to write home about. Those are the scenes that if I do pull them up on YouTube, those are the ones I'm going to first.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. The one other scene I have is just Angela and Peaches, their interaction, especially when Angela explains, about Shane, how he always this nigga brought a dog home and he was always doing some shit like that. Peaches like, you calling me a dog? Like, yo. I think Angela did some of her best acting in that scene.
Yeah, they didn't. I think it's fair to say they didn't give Sally Richardson a whole lot to do.
No,
like for her talent level, they didn't give her a ton to do. So
yeah,
you're
she
right.
She definitely was there for beauty, and I think she showed them that she can act. Like I can do this. Especially another one when she hit Sonny, when she killed Sonny. How you feel now? You could have had some pussy.
It's one of my favorite quotes of the movie, bro. One of my favorite quotes of the movie, man. Because man, that shit's so cold. Because imagine, obviously you can't hear it because you already gone. But imagine that being the shit. Like, damn, man, I could have fucked, nigga. Now you dead.
Hey, now I'm dead.
You talk about two different ends of the spectrum. Like, my goodness, man, you got the happiest of happy on this end and the lowest of the lows on the other. That shit wild. But yeah, I feel you on that as far as that scene together with them, because you knew what had to happen. Even though, Shame never told me about you, just invoking that jealousy and all of that kind of good stuff in it as well.
Yeah, because
So
she
I
she
definitely,
obviously knew she was in love with Shame, and she knew that, and Angela also knew that Shame still loved her. So she like, I'm about to play this bitch because I got to get the fuck out of here and go count this money. You feel me?
yeah. Which is why that's my only thing about that. Like, it's believable. Don't get me wrong. I can 100% see it happening. But Peaches, you got to be a little bit more thorough than that. You can't let her leave. Like, she's too valuable to the operation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but it's all good. It worked out how it needed to work out. You got any other scenes?
No, that's it. The last,
Yeah.
like you said, the last 30, predictable.
The good guy wins. He gets the bread. That's what we all want.
Mhm.
That's why I guess there's not
Yeah.
much to say about it. In my opinion, if we didn't get something that we didn't want, or excuse me, if we got something that we didn't want, or Shame didn't come out on top, or financially stable, or for the 90s rich, it might have been a little bit different. I probably would have had a little bit more to say about those final scenes, but he beat up Mendoza, was throwing them motherfucking, shout out to Luda, throwing them bows.
Hey, Mendoza was whooping his ass at first, though.
Yeah, of
Mendoza
course. That's up, bruh. That's how it's supposed to be. The bad guy, he can squabble.
Yeah.
Outside because the worst bad guy, good guy fight was waist deep.
Yeah.
That shit lasted 5 seconds. But outside of that, the bad guy's supposed to get you a little bit, let you know, oh man, what's gonna happen?
Hitting him with that Muay Thai.
Yeah, as much as I love Beverly Hills Cop, I talk about how much I love Beverly Hills Cop all the time. You can look at all of them. The new one's coming out this year. You always have that moment where, the good guy, Axel's in trouble. What's gonna happen?
Yeah.
They got him.
Yep.
How's he gonna get out of this? But he's gonna get out of it.
Right.
So
That's
you just expect it. So it's perfectly fine. It's cool. I appreciated it. That's how it's supposed to go. He got his bread, ended up with Peaches. Everybody wins at the end. The people that are supposed to get arrested. People that are supposed to get murked got murked. Even your one, even the typical trope of having the bad guy that you just abuse the whole movie. You don't really kill him. You just abuse him. Luis.
Yep. Luis. Yep.
They had that there. So for sure. I guess we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about it's I'm not gonna call it corny. It doesn't hold up the same today, but it's a very big part of this film. It's the dog scene, the James Brown singing to the dogs. That was a big part of this movie at one point. Maybe not 2024, but definitely when it came out, that was a moment, as they say.
Yes. Yes.
So I do want to shout out that scene as well. But the ending as well. Shout out to everything. Best quote, School. What you got?
The only one that I really had is if he's telling you to please leave, I'm telling you get the fuck out. And the other one, yes, that's a bar. And the other one I had is silk drawers and a silk tie. Oh, I gotta wear these together. You say, are you making fun of me? Hell yes. What else you find? And then
get off my ladies. I hear the ladies screaming my name. Shame. Leave me alone. Stop tugging at my silk drawers.
Yeah, and then the other one is
don't love me like you do.
I know I handle this. Hey, y'all. Louise said, fuck the white man. The white man can kiss his ass. Yo, Shame stupid, man.
Yeah, man. Best quotes I had. Some of them you got to pay attention to them. Or pay attention to even get them. The first one is when they were on the phone, when Peaches was on the phone. It wasn't Kim Wayne's character, but Kim Wayne's did the voice on the other end of the phone.
Yes.
Well, she said, if you got off the phone with me and actually started looking for a job, you won't have to live off them county checks. And her response was, I ain't on no county checks. That's FEMA. I get.
That's FEMA.
And then when we first meet Sonny at Shame's office, Sonny looks at Peach and said, "You still with this bum?" Yeah, I'm trying to get to heaven.
And giving me hell all the way.
Yeah, silk drawers and a red tie. You just did that. You respect my shit, and I'll respect yours because that's some real shit. Like, look, everybody got guns pointed to them. Let's all go home. You respect mine, I'll respect yours. No harm done. And then, how do you feel about yourself now, stupid motherfucker? You could have had some pussy. Classic line. But nah, the line of the movie is still Sonny. If he said, please leave, I'm telling you, get the fuck out.
Fuck out.
Scene stiller.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's easy. That's Wayman, baby.
Yeah, Corwin Hawkins.
Corwin Hawkins. And then a close second is Charles S. Dutton, of course.
Yeah, I say that for sure. I say that.
Mendoza was doing a lot of overacting.
Things that bother you.
The one thing that bothered me, and I know I guess it's for comedy purposes, is that Shane actually slept in that bed. Obviously, Peaches just had a conversation with you, telling you she's basically in love with you, and now she's offering you her girlfriend's bed. Seems a little weird to me. I wouldn't have went.
That's not weird to me. That's not weird to me. Because I don't think you wouldn't have went because of you would have thought something was up. I don't think, because I never took it as she was offering the bed on some forget you. I thought it was just like, here's a comfortable place to sleep. Like she might be home later on, or he in this situation. But I didn't think it was weird.
I feel like I felt like they was just too cool for that, man. They could have slept in the same bed, him on the bottom, her on the top, something facing the opposite way on the floor or something.
I feel you. Listen, that's your thing. It didn't bother me, but I get why it bothered you. Yeah. But it didn't bother me. And like you said, comedic purposes. Did you have anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. So I'm not gonna say things that bother me because it's a low down dirty shame, but I do have some questions.
Okay.
I think we talked about Peaches going through the hotel rooms. That always kind of like stuck out to me.
Mm-hmm.
Shame. This is all stupid stuff, y'all. This is the most super nitpick shit you can think of. But when Shane first gets to his office / house, he makes a right turn from the middle lane, and that shit pisses me off every single time. Every single time he makes he's in the center lanes and he makes a right turn, and there's other cars passing. That always bothers me. How you Mo? Like I told you, I was on the phone with Mo earlier because he loves this movie. And he said one thing that always like stuck out to him, or a big hole in it, was, bro, how are you almost like homeless, jobless, peachesless, and you got all these guns? One big issue that I had, you got this whip.
Nice ass.
You driving around this bucket, bro. It's an Aston Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you just sitting on an Aston Martin, bro?
Yep.
If it's really that bad, sell it. And why you not driving this all the time? I know Aston Martins aren't the thing you drive every day, but if you got one, you should. Especially if you driving this Eldorado. He had a Cadillac Eldorado.
Especially if you living in LA. It's not like he in fucking Vermont some damn where. Nigga, you in LA.
For business purposes, and maybe that's just what the whole movie they were talking about how rough he looked. So maybe he was just going through some things and still going through the tragedy of losing his crew.
Yeah.
But it's crazy to think you would get more business. I'm a PI. Like, I'm driving this Aston Martin. You would take me more seriously. I would be on or I just thought about this. Maybe the filmmaker started to be too much on some Shaft shit. Super cool black dude. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe it was too much. They didn't want to be caught up in that. But when he turned it on, he turned it on. Like, you wanted to be Shane. You wanted to have the 1986 Aston Martin. You wanted to have the body with the hoop earring on his MJ shit.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The suit for that time was fly.
Yep.
All of that. Like Shane, the glasses, all of that. Shane was a cool dude.
That's a fact.
I love this. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that definitely was the look, man. The bald head, earring, that was it. He was the guy.
No, Michael Jordan still got his hoop earring in. The bungee jump scene, that whole MacGyver situation. Like I said, that's what you did in those type of movies.
Yeah.
Come on, we all thinking the same thing.
Yep. Yeah.
You did all this shit in this little time, and bungee jumped out this bitch.
And
I respect it though. Yeah, I respect it though. Yeah, and stole his gun. But I respect it because if you're trying to separate yourself from these movies doing the same thing, you might as well have some dope sequences. Like I said, you might as well go for it. They still making Fast and Furious, y'all.
Yes.
I done seen Fast and Furious. I done seen them cars do some outrageous shit.
Facts.
So I can't be mad at Shane. And then my last one is just the attack dogs not attacking. Like in real life, once they got to Shane, they would have been all. Shane wouldn't even had no time to sing James Brown. They'd have been on his ass. Them niggas sat, looked at him, and started barking.
And started barking.
Them attack dogs would have been on his ass.
Yeah, man. Shit sucks.
But obviously, like I said, that was a big moment for the film when it came out. And then even my man, one guada, man.
Hey, chill, man.
My nigga said, one guada, man. Hey, he was trying to get him out of there, bro.
He's trying to figure out who the James Brown of his era. Like, who can I sing?
Yeah, man. No come see about me moments. There aren't any actors from The Wire. Soundtrack, I think, debuted at like number 70 on the charts.
Yeah, it didn't.
It had a nice little. Yeah, it didn't do that well, but it had a good score. I enjoyed the score throughout the movie. Wouldn't let that happen to me.
Nah, I don't think it's really any moments like that. Except for, like I said, I would have slept on Peach's floor.
All right, now sleeping on the floor. You didn't say the floor. Now that's
I did. I said that.
You said the bed.
No, and then I said the floor or something.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear you.
Yeah,
My bad.
Yeah.
You got? I didn't have anything for that category. Did you have any trivia?
The only trivia that I really had was the scene where he slaps the opening scene where he slaps the guy with he pistol whips him. It says "Say hello to Arnold for me." Is actually a gentleman who used to do bodybuilding contests with Arnold Schwarzenegger. They're very close friends, so that was the purpose of that. And then the other thing that I saw was, you know, who was supposed to play Peaches, or who else was in line for Peaches?
I think I saw that somewhere. Who was it?
Kim Fields.
That's right. Yeah, Kim Fields.
Yeah, I can't see anybody but Jada.
Yeah, nah, that's an iconic character. That's in Jada's top 5. Probably quite easily in her top 5, if not number 1.
Yes,
Peaches for sure.
Peaches.
So yeah, we got. I didn't have any other trivia besides that. I think that's about it. I think we reached everything that we were going to. So we get to the end of the episode where we rate the film. School.
Yes, sir.
The average viewer rates this film a 5.9 out of 10. Too high, too low, just right.
That's too fucking low. I rated this a 7.3.
Okay, then.
It's my shit.
Too low, I'm going 7.1.
Yeah.
I'm going 7.1 for sure. For sure. So this was fun, man. It was fun talking about this movie with you. 30 years old. Can't believe it.
I can't believe that shit, man.
Yeah, classic, timeless film. Like I said, please go out and check out our Wayans episode. We have a lot more information about the Wayans and just some of their accomplishments, their feats, discussing some of their movies, man. I'm not on the white chicks wagon like everybody else is, all that kind of stuff. There's just a bunch of stuff in that episode, so go check it out. We got y'all. Please remember to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. School's Guilty Pleasures. Yes. All the information is on the link tree, man. Everything that we're a part of, you can find us down there. We appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Like I said, sorry again for being a day late. Scheduling was a little bit crazy, but we'll be back next week. All 3 of us. Is Rachel's pick next week. So we'll be back having a good conversation. It's going to be centered around women. Like I said, Women History Month. So shout out to y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Y'all be cool. How y'all be cool?
Peace.
We out.